to assure the country that despite the challenges we have experienced in the recent past, the Commission is more than committed to ensure that the country has a successful election come the October 17th. We reckon that we are working together under serious time constraints. It is for this reason that we have resolved to solely focus on the preparations for the October 17th election. As a matter of fact, this is a duty of every one of us. Although we are yet to get the detailed judgment of the Supreme Court on the August 8th presidential election, we have started a review of the August 8th election with the aim of improving on our processes. Ours is to learn and to improve for the sake of the people of Kenya. We are coming out as one team with a common vision that will enable us to deliver on our mandate. It was very evident that this retreat was necessary. It helped to clarify issues of concern, and we are now better off than we came here. We have also agreed to review and streamline the operations of the project team for purposes of efficient and effective delivery of the fresh presidential election. The CEO has been asked to assess the implementation challenges that were experienced during the just concluded general election and propose a project implementation framework that is aligned with the existing organization framework of IEBC. On the issue of the memo by the chairman to the CEO, we resolved to review the responses by the secretariat and communicate the same to the public at an appropriate time. We wish to urge the nation to be patient with us in the coming days as we prepare for the fresh presidential election. Our commitment to deliver a free, fair, and credible election remains steadfast, and that is our statement to the nation this evening. God bless all of you. God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Questions? We do 3 questions. 3 questions. The ladies, 1, 2, and 3. Exactly 3 questions.
I'm Barros from Capital FM. You mentioned the now famous memo. Were you satisfied as chairman with the answers you received from the CEO of Chiluba? In terms of the questions raised in the memo?
The CEO and the secretariat have addressed the issues in the memo. The Commission will meet in the course of the week to review those answers, and thereafter we shall communicate the same to the country. So we have not reviewed the answers yet. We are yet to review the answers to that memo.
All right, so the project team you announced earlier, you mentioned that the CEO will now announce another or set up one. So you're doing away with the one you set up before?
Let me start by saying that that's not true. That's not the position.
Okay.
The position that IEBC has an organization structure. And it's not unusual to have a team coming in when there's a by-election or in an event like this one. So what we have tasked the CEO to do is to align that team and any other officers we may come up with the organization structure of IEBC so that we can move on in a seamless way.
The one you announced is still in place?
The names are there. They'll be aligned to the structure. And if there are any changes or more names will come in, then they'll be accommodated.
Does that make the CEO in charge of that particular team right now?
Sorry?
Does it make the CEO in charge of that particular team?
The coming of the team was not dispensing with the structure of the organization. We were not firing anyone. We were bringing the team as kind of a task force to supplement the already existing structure. So obviously the CEO is still the CEO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at it. Last week, in what played out in the public gallery, it was what, let's say, the public members of the press have termed as damaging the commission which you are chairing. Now, looking at it, the commission appeared to be torn apart, with some commissioners appearing to go with the CEO, some commissioners appearing to back you. And I don't know, today, can you frankly tell the public that you are one as a commission ahead of the presidential rerun? Number two, when we look at the memo, the question that has been there is, who leaked the memo? Have you looked at it? Who leaked the memo? Because it was confidential from the chairman to the CEO, but it appears it was leaked. Have you looked at it?
Yes, on your first question, are we together as one? What do you think?
Yes.
All these 6 commissioners and myself are here, plus the CEO. We've been together in one room the whole day. If we didn't like each other, I'm sure somebody would have walked away. But we have committed to what we came to do in the office. We took an oath to serve Kenyans without fear or favor, and in compliance with the constitution of the land and the laws of the land. And that's why we are here. We have redefined those moments, and our allegiance is the people of Kenya. And that's why we are standing here to tell Kenyans that we are going to work together as one. As regards the memo, it's not the first time a confidential document has leaked from an organization. It's unfortunate that that went out. The memo was marked confidential. In terms of the organization structure, the commission makes policy and communicates to the secretariat to implement. So ours is those responsibilities we push the secretariat. But at the end of the day, we, of course, have said that the secretariat has given the answers. We are going to sit together as a commission and review them, and we shall share with the Kenyans.
But looking at the issue you talked about allegiance, from last week's events, it appeared that some commissioners were allied to NASA, others are allied to Jubilee. And even yesterday, if you watched an interview on Citizen TV, the deputy president mentioned your name, that you were meeting with NASA principals.
So what's your question?
Can that be the last question?
Okay.
The question is, what is your response to the outrageous remarks that seem to mention some of your officials to be affiliated to the competing parties in the forthcoming presidential elections? So what's your response to that, to both NASA's allegations and the ones raised by the Deputy President speaking for Jubilee Coalition?
Yes, we as commissioners are referees. A referee has to be neutral. And in the retreat, we have reflected on those moments. None of us is NASA, none of us is Jubilee, and we are here to serve Kenyans as IEBC, as commissioners of the Independent Electoral Commission. And therefore, you will hear a lot of things. You will hear so-and-so is NASA, the chairman has met NASA. That is completely false. And I've said if there are any incidents of night meetings with NASA principals, whoever is alleging that, let them bring it out in the open and give venues of those meetings, times of those meetings, and Kenyans will have to see for themselves. But I want to say this. As commissioners, we have an open door policy. We meet Kenyans from all walks of life. NASA principals and their affiliates come to our offices. Jubilee come to our offices. All political party representatives come to see us. And we even have meetings together outside the offices with the various stakeholders. So it's not anything new. But there are no secret meetings between us and any of the political candidates and or their agents.
Thank you. Please, because by the time you were writing this memo, which was after you saw an affidavit to the Supreme Court vouching for the election as well, and then after you write a memo raising questions about the same election. So the big question has been, at what point as chair, did you realize there were all these issues that you're raising in the memo that before you are vouching for that election?
Let me say this. The issue of the Supreme Court case, you know very well the judgment is not yet out. The judges are still writing it within their timelines. After the election, of course, the petition was filed. The petition raised issues. And, of course, after raising those issues, as the management, as the commission, We have, of course, a right. You know, the commissioners make policy decisions, right? The secretariat implements. It's not unusual. Where we sit, we don't participate in the operations of by the secretariat. So it's not unusual to ask, did this happen? We made this policy, did this happen? And of course, we have all had time to reflect after the case was filed in court. And arising from the pleadings in court, that's when those questions came out. And it's within the right of the commission to seek for answers. We don't have to wait for the Supreme Court judgment to start evaluating ourselves and if anything went wrong with whatever happened at the election. So that's what informed that memo, to at least prepare ourselves. We still would have done a post-election evaluation anyway, even if there was no fresh election. So that's it's a normal procedural thing within the commission.
With your respect, away from
thank you very much.
Yeah. Away from the focus and back to the process, you had called for a meeting with both the presidential candidates and also for the both coalitions. So is there any progress because they have boycotted that meeting, and has it affected your plans so far? Tomorrow at 11 a.m., we shall have a joint meeting between the Commission, NASA and Jubilee presidential candidates and their agents, where all issues pertaining to the 17th October fresh election will be discussed. And you, of course, will be welcome for the outcome which will be communicated to the media. Thank you very much.